Hi, Michael Denner, Professor of Russian Studies, Stetson University, Director of the University Honors Program, and I've asked Barrett Hand to chat with me a little bit today. Barrett is finishing up law school this year. He's in his third year, I think. If I'm wrong, they'll correct me. Hit it, Barrett. You're on.
Great. Well, hello and welcome to our meeting. I'm glad to be speaking with you. So one of the things that Dr. Denner asked us to do is just kind of trace back from the time we were like 18 to where we're at currently. So when I was 18, I was a kid in Mount Dora High School, which is maybe 45 minutes north of Orlando. If you're from Florida, you might recognize it. It's a pretty small town, and looked at a few different schools. I ended up choosing Stetson, which was a really great choice, a better choice than I could have understood at the time. And when I was there, I ended up with two majors in Russian, East European, Eurasian studies, and political science. But along the way, got that good liberal arts education that enabled me to learn so much about so much of the world and really taught me how to learn and make those decisions moving forward. So really enjoyed that process. By far, the best takeaway from undergrad was meeting my wife, Anika, who was also an honors student. She's a stud and is over here with me at law school, although she's working as a paralegal. She's not actually in law school. So we got married in college, and so she was a year younger than me. So in the interim, I worked after I graduated. Until she graduated, I worked as an admissions counselor with university undergrad, which was a great time as well. If there's any questions about that, you can reach out to me. And during that time, I was studying to take the LSAT and took the LSAT. That was kind of an explorative process for me to see kind of where I landed, to see if law school was going to be the right route forward. For your information, I had this kind of vow, right, that if I scored from here to here, I was definitely going to law school. And if I scored from here to here, I definitely wasn't going to law school. And the one number I didn't account for is what I got. And so I still had to make the decision myself. And so that was a hard fought decision, which I think is why this process might be more of use to you, because I've had to think about a lot of these things along the way. But man, guys, so grateful that I came to law school and that I came to Stetson Law specifically. So I'm at Stetson Law. For those of you that don't know, it's over in St. Pete Gulfport. So it's on like the Gulf Coast of Florida. I live in an on-campus house right across the street from campus, and we're like 10 minutes away from the beach. And so you can't really beat the location. I guess I can show you a little panorama. Like that's some of this school, and those are like some dorms, and then my house is back over that way. Yes, and Dr. Denner was correct. This is my third year of law school. Gotten to do some great internships in my time here that maybe we'll dig into, and got some really great employment opportunities. So at this point, I've accepted a commission with the U.S. Army JAG Corps, and so that's what I'll be doing in January of 2023. So kind of got that lined up, and that's in no small part due to mentors like Dr. Denner along the way who have help to forge this path. If you ever come over this way and you're in Tampa and you want to check out campus or do some windsurfing or spearfishing, just let me know.
And so we're going to play a game. And the point of the game is to answer fully but briefly, which is always tough.
Yes, sir.
What are three lessons that you took away from Stetson University? Or I could say it this way. I like this better. What would you, present day, Barrett, tell your 18-year-old self about the value of young Barrett's next 4 years?
Yeah, that's huge. So you're specifically talking about undergrad, correct?
Yeah. Like you're talking to Stetson students. So talk to the Stetson Barrett.
Yeah. So kind of top three lessons or takeaways or what have you. I think number one has to be a flexible endurance. And what I mean by that is just that the very nature of the education at Stetson, particularly when it's done well, and Dr. Denner does a really good job of doing it well through the honors program and enabling you to experience a liberal arts education like the way it should be done with that flexibility. It just instills so many opportunities, and there can almost be a exhaustion that sets in with that opportunity. But if you're able to endure and to have a plan, I think I've had very detailed plans of like what we wanted to do, and where I'm at ended up looking like what my plan originally was, but in between is this crazy squiggle. And so I think if you're down for that journey in a true sense, right? We all kind of talk about like, oh, we're up for a journey or whatever, but if you're down to really crank it out and to ask those questions that Max is talking about of like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing an honors education? Why am I reading all this for class or what have you? If you know that answer before you go in, then those 4 years are going to be so impactful for you moving forward, because what you take away with that kind of versatile endurance is the ability to tackle anything that you want to next. That's not like a Disney speech, but I really think that what it gives you is the skills to adapt. And
Well,
I think,
two.
okay, good deal. Yes, thank you for keeping me on track.
Yeah. I'm the same way, Barrett.
Yeah, it's so hard to be succinct on this stuff. It's important.
Agility or flexibility, seize the moment. Hey, we both hate to sound trite, but like, hey,
Right.
it's true.
Yeah, no doubt. So that second point then is going to be people, right? It's the people that make any place special. People of Stetson are immensely special, and the connections that you make there with faculty, the ability that you're able to talk to faculty, the friends that you make, your peers, and the people mentoring you are going to be really crucial. And there's no place like Stetson for those relationships. So that's two.
One, agility. Two,
Relationships.
people. Three.
Yeah. Three. Let me think about point number three.
What would you tell your 18-year-old self?
Okay. But about the next 4 years and like why he should be so stoked and enjoying it, right? Like, because I would just say that, again, it's going to sound trite, but like, be present and be grateful, because I didn't really understand the gravity of the minds that I was around in undergrad until I got out and I realized that the rest of the educating world is not like Stetson, and B, the rest of the world is not like Stetson. Like, getting classes with like some of the professors that we got to roll with, particularly in sprees, coming out is really a supreme experience. So it's hard to look past yourself in undergrad, because it's so much about your education. But if you can do that, not just to absorb the values that can drive you forward in life, but to appreciate the really impactful education that you're getting, then you're going to get so much else from it. So I guess you get that agility, right? You got your relationships, and then you have the focus on the education itself.
And on the present moment.
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, Barrett, this is the rapid round.
Okay.
You're limited to 1 or 2 sentences. You have to be super brief. And you've talked a little bit about what Stetson did right, educating you and preparing you for law school. What's one thing that you wish that Stetson had done better at preparing you specifically for law school? It's a very specific question. Like, what do you wish that Stetson had done to prepare you to be a better law school student?
I wish first that Stetson would have talked about law school a little bit more. You'd think it would have happened more, being that they had a law school, and described what that meant, really, like what law school was and what it could be, and then just made connections with the law campus, either by having faculty or practitioners come in to talk about I think if I saw the diverse skill set that comes out of a law degree, I would have been interested much sooner, which would have allowed me to prepare a little bit better.
That's a really good response. I like that. I learned something. Barrett, Florida, overrated or underrated?
Depends on who you ask.
Now, I'm asking Barrett, and you have to keep your answer brief.
Okay, I guess it depends on who's rating it. I think Florida tends to be criminally underrated. Florida is one of the most purple places in the United States. The I-4 corridor is a really purple corridor of Florida, meaning politically, right? Like, we have a really great political diversity of Republicans and Democrats, and there's so much thought diversity that comes out of that. We have all manner of diversity. We're increasingly an international place, and my goodness, my firm defense of Florida is that any day of the year you can go outside and have an adventure. And that is so crucial to being a holistic person, like Max is talking about, like looking past the classroom and go out and have an adventure.
And more broadly, Florida is almost a Caribbean nation. Not maybe the parts that you're familiar with, but if you go much further south than Tampa, and that's still a third of the state, people forget, it's an incredibly international place. And then I have to say that I spend a lot of time in Maine, and it is a remarkably monotone place in comparison with Florida. And yeah, I think we get knocked. I think Florida gets knocked a lot by people from up north, and they're very dismissive of Florida. And we are 3 natives of Florida. We aren't, but it's okay. And we're also sort of like strangely partisan. And it's like, damn, Yankees don't understand is basically our response. You seem really happy to me right now. right? Why are you so happy, Barrett? I mean, aside from being an eternal sunshine kind of person.
Well, firstly, we've got a baby coming in
No
January.
way, that's so great.
Yes, that's huge. And tomorrow we've got an appointment to learn some more. So yeah, we're Anika and I are really, really excited. And I think also like with that, I came through an interesting time too, the last few months, really grappling with and wrestling. It felt like I had some of this, Dr. Dinner, two kind of different career options before me that looked similar, and kind of coming to a conclusion on that and accepting the JAG commission and everything has just enabled me to be like way more grounded and present and excited about things that matter, like our child coming along. And so yeah, I feel just really a lot of gratefulness and excitement about the future.
Awesome.
So yes, sir. Yeah.
You sort of are beaming that.
That's awesome.
So, okay, thank you so much. This has been a great conversation about professional school and about Stetson. And I'll end it by just pointing out again one of my maxims, one of the things I say over and over again, and that the future is always all around us. It's just we don't really we have to pause and then we can hear the future that the present is promising. And these conversations that I have with you guys are always so great because I think that not always and not for every student, and that's fine, but for a lot of kids, when they listen to you, they realize they understand a little bit better about their future, and the future it starts to ring a little bit, and they can kind of hear it in the present moment, and that's great. So thank you for helping my students hear the future. And I'm gonna stop recording, but we're not gonna hang up, and we're gonna chat for 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna let you enjoy the rest of your beautiful Sunday afternoon.